Okay, Coach Dinesha Devnarayan, their former player, speaking to us about tomorrow's T20 World Cup final between the Proteas women and New Zealand. Well, if they need any form of inspiration, they must just look at what happened earlier this week in Japan, because South Africa now has a new boxing world champion in the name of Phumelela The Truth Cafu. That's after the boy from Duncan Village upset the odds in Japan on Monday to beat the champion Kosei Tanaka. The split decision win saw Cafu claim the coveted WBO junior bantamweight title, adding to the list of world champions for internationally acclaimed trainer and manager Colin Nathan of No Doubt Management and the Hot Box Gym. And is here Colin Nathan to talk to us about that victory in Japan. Looking very smart, also dressed for TV. Thanks for joining us.
I got the memo, so yeah, it's just great to be here. Thanks. I mean, obviously now we are embellishing the victory. It's just such an amazing. I was thinking about it today. There's that clip in socials that a friend of mine in the crowd actually captured the South African corner just before Jimmy Lennon Jr. said, and we're all like sitting there pensive, you know, and the next thing, and we were just like overjoyed. Like, I've watched that now probably 125 times, and I can never get enough of it, just watching the joy in the corner of all of us, because we worked so hard to get to that point. And it was such a tight fight, and the knockdown was the decider. And it just showed, we actually discovered the truth about Phumelela, that he can dig down deep, he can bite down hard on the gum shield. When the chips are down, he can actually perform. And what an amazing performance for him and for South African boxing.
Before you guys went to Japan, you were here. He was telling us that he wants to win. He wants to build his mother a house. And one of the clips that was caught on camera during the fight I was watching was when you reminded him of all the things he said in the media about buying his mother a house. And if he doesn't want to lose those things, then he better step up there. Were you talking to his heart? Were you talking to his mind at that stage of the fight?
So let's just go back. I heard the radio interview with you. I was in the studio where he said he actually wants to buy his mom a house. And the 7th round was actually disastrous for us. Remember, the 5th round, we got the knockdown. I thought that would give us a lot more momentum. But Tanaka, who's an amazing, incredible, gifted fighter, elite champion, 4-division world champion, came out galvanized after that. And I was thinking, okay, 6th round could have gone either way. 7th round, we completely got dominated. And I'm like, this is the moment. Like, what do I say to get the emotional connection with my fighter to make him physically galvanized? And I remember what he said in the studio with you. He said, I want to buy my mother a house. So I said to him, and I'm not going to swear, you're giving him too much respect. And I said, all that stuff about you wanting to buy your mother a house, you letting this guy take it away from you. And he came out galvanized in the 8th, the 9th. It was just such an amazing display of will, courage, and a dream. And I play on the dream. You know, the dream is to become champion of the world. And this is your moment. The chips are down, but you still have that opportunity. You still have that moment to win and pull it back on the scores and dominate and win. And that's what happened.
Yeah, and how fine was this performance, considering the pedigree of Tanaka, like you've said, and the fact that when you were here, it's your first fight with Cafu, and we were saying, maybe is it not too soon for a world title fight since it's the first time you guys are working together? But he went on and he put on an elite performance in Japan.
Yes, so it was interesting. A lot of predictions, they were saying that it's too soon for Phumelela. He's not ready for this world-class level. He's too raw at this level. He might have been raw and inexperienced at this level, but his corner wasn't. And I believe in my products. I believe the fact that I trained the fighter the correct way to win the match. And our game plan was on point. I really felt that our game plan was on point. We were actually banking on the left hook, but the fact that he caught him on a counter, everything was based in our training camp for counter shots, particularly the left hook. But he caught him when he threw a wide right uppercut. He caught him on a right hook kind of counter over the top. And that was kind of what we worked. We worked on drawing him in for the counter. But also I want to make mention that Phumelela listened very carefully to my instructions. His defense was tight. You know, there was that connection and that energy between the two of us. And the last round, even though I thought he was dominating, but we ended up losing because of the last 30 seconds, I said to him, there's 3 minutes away from your dream. Don't let him take it away from you. 3 minutes of your entire life, what you've been building up to, this moment is based on your dream, go for it.
And he achieved that dream, the truth, Phumelela Cafu. And he joins us now all the way from East London. He's gone home. There was a huge homecoming for him. Good evening from us. Well, let's do it the right way. The champ is here. Good evening, champ, and congratulations once again. And thank you for speaking to us on SABC.
Good evening to you too, Rabban, and good evening to you too, Pops. Thanks for having me.
How has it been being back home? How have you been received since you came back as a world champion now?
It feels good. I love the attention that I'm getting lately. But yeah, what can I say? It's kind of good, man.
Yeah, and you deserve all the attention that you are getting. But how was the fight? Colin has given us his analysis of the fight. He felt it went according to plan. For you, how was it away from home?
It was really a tough fight. I was expecting it to be a tough fight. But yeah, it was a tough fight, but it's what I was prepared for. And yeah, I went there and did me, so I ended up coming up back as a champion. So yeah.
And you put him down in round 5. It seems like it was a well-worked plan from the hot box gym there.
Yeah, the plan was to like draw him in and catch him with a counter. And my predictions were that I'm gonna knock him out in round 5 or 6. Because I knew once the fight starts to heat up, he's gonna get more. He's gonna be more careless, and it's gonna be easier for me to catch him with counters. So as I dropped him in round 5, I thought, nah, this is what finally predicted, and the fight is gonna be over soon. But I stood up, man, and when I went there for the finish, he still had his legs with him. So thought, now instead of going all out, I should also like try to pace myself so that I don't end up in the canvas as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you came to Joburg with the dream, Cafu. You left everything behind in the Eastern Cape. You wanted to link up with Colin Nathan. He's here with us also. Just how do you describe how he's been able to turn your career around in such a short space of time, and how's it been working with him?
Working with him is it's been like very, what can I say? Well, we've been working very well. Like I said, I call him Pops. He calls me son. So the bond is there from the moment we met. We were clicking. So it's kind of good working with them. And I'm really glad that he believed in me. He knew that I could be a world champion. And even like when we got the fight offer, he said, son, let me tell you something. I know how to beat Tanaka. And I just had to trust him. And I'm glad he also trusted me with the game plan.
Okay, and it's not only you, obviously, you've got a big team that you went with to Japan. Also, credit to the guys that you worked with also. Yeah,
I'm going to say big shout out to Larry Weinstein and Riaz and Leduma from Boxing 5, my cut man, Bernie Pellman, who's been by my side for many, many years, Shannon Stradom, and of course, Sean Ness, who's also one of the trainers at the team. It's just been a collective effort, but just going back on that point when because I really wanted to push hard for Tanaka.
Yeah.
But when the fight came together and we were there close to the finish line, and I was asked, do I want the fight now? I didn't even ask Phumelela's permission because I was that confident we were going to win. You know, when you just have a good feeling in your gut, I was like, yeah, Tekken, we want the fight, send us the contract. I phoned up Phumelela and I said to him, are you sleeping? Are you awake? He goes, no, Pops, I'm awake. I'm like, are you sitting down? He goes, yeah, I'm sitting down. I said, I've got you the title shots. Then I sent Larry a message saying, we got the title shots. I'll explain to you how it's going to work tomorrow. And he was like, Colin, whatever you do in boxing, I'm going to support you. And I knew straight away that this was the right moment, the right fight. And I just had a really good feeling that the truth will set you free and we have a new world champion.
So what's next for the new world champion? I believe he's also been signed by Tekken in Japan.
Yeah, so that's, you know, we've got a verbal agreement with Tekken, but we are going to be signing the agreement. Very excited about that. I've always wanted to work promotionally with Tekken, Mr. Honda, one of the greatest boxing promoters in boxing history, and an absolute gentleman. Treated us with respect, treated the team with respect. Maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but one of the guys close to production whispered in my ear, said, by the way, Tekken Promotion do not have options with Tanaka. So good luck. And I was like, no wonder there weren't options. So We couldn't announce the agreement because we needed to win the fight first. But I'm very proud of the fact that we're going to be promoted by Tech and Boxing Promotions. Obviously, our local promoter here, Larry Weinstein with Boxing Fight Promotions. You know, it was very instrumental in making this a team effort to make it all happen. You know, I can't just say and sit here. I was like, yes, I navigated the way, but it's a team effort. So a big shout out to Boxing 5. And I've got to thank this young guy because he believed in me. Funny enough, when we were talking, he said, you know, I wanted to join you years ago. Yeah. And like, because my old Facebook account was hacked, and then he actually sent me the messages like, yeah, I was like, wow. You know, and here we are.
Okay, wonderful. Let's leave it there. Champ, thank you for joining us. Enjoy home. Enjoy your homecoming. You're world champion. You deserve it. We'll catch up again with you soon. Just quickly, yes or no, is there a rematch clause?
No. No rematch clause. But it could happen. It was such a fantastic fight. And here's the other thing I want to make mention just before we go. Phumelela is still young. He's going to get only better. And he hasn't even reached his prime yet.
Okay, waiting to see then what more The Truth has to offer. The Truth has entered the conversation with Colin Nathan. Well done to the guys, well done to the team. There was disappointment for Sivenati Nonjinga in Japan, but we know he's bounced back before and he's going to bounce back. Also, shout out to SA Boxing Talk for the great coverage that they did behind the scenes. Stay with us here on Sports Live. There's much more coming up.